However, we are not done talking about the NFL because we need to talk about some decisions that were made in the podcasting world. How do we start? Dallas comes on here a lot and complains about her quarterback being disrespected. And at the end of the day, he probably is. But he is still widely considered one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't think that's very arguable. And most people do agree with that. I'm going to complain about my quarterback being disrespected for a minute. And then I'll get into my rankings. Because I did do some quarterback rankings. Just to kind of go through the process. See what I came up with. This all started with Mina Kimes on her podcast. And then for those of you that don't know who Mina Kimes is, she's a reporter for ESPN. She's really good at what she does. And she's also a Seahawk fan, which makes this worse. So very much worse. She recently did an episode.
Go ahead. I'll let you say the thing, and then I'm going to help you.
She recently did an episode with Ben Solak, who also works for ESPN, and is also pretty good as an analyst. I think does do some good work. I think we can all agree that some analysts do not focus enough on the whole NFL. It is really tough to know every team. It just kind of is what it is. But they did a podcast recently where they draft quarterbacks with a 3-year, outlook. So, would you want this quarterback for 3 years? For the next 3 years, do you want this quarterback as your guy? And I'll run you through their draft. Number 1 overall, they went with Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's a hot take in any way. He's still the best quarterback in the league. Age could be a factor there, but I do still think,
based off what he's done,
it's hard to argue it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's not invalid.
You could have done Allen. You could have done Jackson. Who cares? Second was Josh Allen. I think that's fine. The reason I want to say it was Ben Solak gave was Allen has not been hurt in his career. Lamar has. He would rather have the guy that has never been hurt, even if he does think Lamar is technically the better quarterback. And that's what he said.
Something bad.
And he's like, Lamar's... And he was also like, Lamar last year with his rushing did not leave me with a ton of confidence. Now, I do think, as you said, that was because of the injury. But if he does continue to get hurt and that rushing ability does go away, where are we at?
It's valid. It's valid concern. It's valid.
They then did take Lamar 3rd overall. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3 makes sense. Number 4 was Joe Burrow. I have my opinions.
Okay.
We'll move on. Number 5 was Drake May. I think
we're going to talk about that if we're doing a quarterback rankings today. We're going to talk about
that. Number 5 was Drake May. I think for a 3-year outlook, that makes a ton of sense. Really good young quarterback. Now I'm going to kind of speed through these. 6 was Herbert. 7 was Prescott. 8 was Williams. 9 was Love. 10 was Daniels. 11 was Stafford. 12 was Stroud. 13 was Trevor Lawrence. 14 was Jared Goff. 15 was Brock Purdy. 16 was Fernando Mendoza. This is not right. Hold
on. A rookie who hasn't started?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 16 was Mendoza. 17 was Hurts. 18 was Kyler Murray. And Sam Darnold was 19th overall.
Okay, that's disrespectful. This is disrespectful.
It gets better. Hold on. There's another podcast that went off of this one. Same parameters. Here's their draft. They went with Josh Allen, number 1.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson, number 2. Drake May, number 3. Patrick Mahomes, 4. Burrow, 5. Stafford, 6. Love, 7. Herbert, 8. Prescott, 10. Trevor Lawrence, Prescott 9, Lawrence 10, Purdy 11, Jaden Daniels 12, Jared Goff 13, Caleb Williams 14, CJ Stroud 15, Kyler Murray 16, Sam Darnold 17th, Jalen Hurts 18th. So they moved them up two spots.
It's disrespectful.
All right. Third one we'll talk about. Chris Sims. Oh, and then I didn't say what podcast. It was Nate Tice, who is a writer for Yahoo Sports. Another guy that's pretty good, more draft focused, but not bad. Next one is Chris Sims, the former NFL quarterback and he's NBC. Had Darnold ranked 14th. He did have Murray behind him, Hurts behind him, Purdy behind him, and then I want to say in front of him was Lawrence, Prescott, Williams, and like your standard ones like Love, Herbert, Burrow, Mahomes, your standard ones in front of him.
I need to understand what the deal is with people in Justin Herbert. I need someone to explain it to me.
Okay.
I understand that's not what we're talking about right now, but I do need someone to explain it to me.
All right. Next. So, I've now named everything. Who in the fuck puts Kyler fucking Murray in front of Sam Darnold?
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
One, they're the same fucking age. So you can't even come at me that Kyler Murray's younger, Kyler Murray is... Nope, same age. Kyler Murray came out the year after Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold was a slightly younger prospect when he came out. So that's one. Two, Kyler Murray was just fucking benched by one of the worst teams in football, and then was paid to not play there, and signed a 1-year deal to go battle J.J. McCarthy. 3, he's not a good quarterback.
Valid.
So who in the fuck puts him over Sam Darnold, who just won the Super Bowl?
I think the Kyler Murray thing, that's insane. That's insane. I don't know what film you're watching, right? Inherently to me, to have anyone that has never won a playoff game ahead of the man that just won the Super Bowl is outrageous.
All right. The other thing I want to comment on is how is Mendoza ahead of him? He's never played a down of fucking NFL football, guys. I get it. If you think that maybe he will be better, I understand that take. I do. If you think Mendoza will be a better quarterback than Darnold in 3 years, that is a perfectly acceptable take to make, in my opinion. I don't think you can say that until he has played a down of NFL football.
No, you can't. No.
You can think it.
You can say he might be a better prospect than Darnold was. And if he is what we project him to be, then he will be better than Darnold. That's fair. But you can't know that. They are two different fucking sports.
Yes. So, we've given the context. Here is my rankings. With
Hold on.
Same... Okay.
I want to do two things really fast. Actually, I'm going to do one. We'll do two when it comes to that. One, Mina Kimes, the last year that Lamar won MVP, by the way, had a phenomenal year rushing and throwing the ball. Mina Kimes is the one that said, I want my quarterback to be more quarterbacky. So, you've already lost me with the name, and then the insanity continued. So I get the frustration.
She's not a bad analyst.
No, but
I do feel bad because she got hurt.
I don't always respect or agree with. I respect. I don't always agree with some of the takes she has,
and I don't agree on this one. All right, so my rankings with these same parameters. There's going to be one that a lot of people are going to disagree with, and that's fine. And we're going to do this back to front, just to get it over with. At the very back of the line, in 26 to 32, you have Aaron Rodgers at 32, Geno Smith, Tua, Justin Fields, and I'm just doing quarterbacks from last year. I'm not including rookies. Just want to make that perfectly clear. Just quarterbacks from last season. Justin Fields, Shedeur Sanders, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix is my 26 through 32.
No problems.
My 25 through 21. I have Kyler Murray at 25, Bryce Young, Matt Stafford. Let me explain this one real quick. This is very low for Stafford. He's not going to play for 30 years.
Fair.
I'm making this ranking based off of how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. If he wins a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, then he goes in 11 through 15. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. And he's not going to play for much longer. So yes, this is very low.
And you said, like, the parameter is, who do you want for the next 3 years? Stafford is not going to play for 3 more years.
So I'm making that decision of he's probably not playing for the next 3 years. And how much does he actually have left? Because remember, last year, he almost didn't play because his back was so fucked up.
Yeah.
Do we trust him to have another season like that this year? I'd say yes, but that was the decision making I made there. Someone I'm probably a little lower on, and I'll admit that. I have CJ Stroud next. Probably could go up a little bit.
I don't think it's unfair.
But after that, I do think this is a bit of recency bias, but after that game against the Patriots in the playoffs, I was a little worried.
Other than his rookie year, the following 2 have vastly underperformed.
And I think
you can blame the offensive line, but vastly underperformed.
In hindsight, I would flip the guy and him. The guy I have ahead of him and him. I would flip him and Daniel Jones. Looking at it, I had Daniel Jones at 21, him at 22. Let's flip that. It'll be Daniel Jones at 22, CJ Stroud at 21. I do think Stroud, not coming off the injury, which Daniel Jones is, I think makes more sense. All right. In the next bucket of 16 through 20. At 20, I have Jackson Dart. Then I have Baker Mayfield, Tyler Shuck, Cam Ward, Trevor Lawrence. This was like my second years, and then guys that I think are good, but we haven't seen them actually be great.
Trevor Lawrence had a great year. Can he maintain this?
But he only had a great, half a year.
Yeah.
He was not good in the beginning of the season.
Where do you go from here? So
Trevor Lawrence probably can move, obviously, this is the bucket of people that I'm like, you can move up or down very easily. We'll kind of see how next year goes for you. The next bucket is 11 through 15. At 15, I have Jalen Hurts. At 14, I have Bo Nix. 13, Jared Goff. 12, Jordan Love. 11 is Brock Purdy.
I think that's accurate based off the 3-year parameter as well as just an overall quarterback ranking. No issues.
Hurts was very difficult. I was kind of thinking about moving him down, maybe moving up one of the other younger guys, but I was like, no. He is a Super Bowl MVP. I do think he gets the nod there. Bo Nix.
So is Eli Manning.
Settle down. I'm just Brock Purdy over Jordan Love has been one that I've seen a lot of people debating. I have Brock Purdy over him just because I think Brock Purdy is a more consistent quarterback. Jordan Love is definitely 100%. The more talented in terms of pure talent. The problem I have with Jordan Love is he's just inconsistent, and I know why he's inconsistent. His fadeaway jump pass is just, it pisses me off.
It's not good.
So that was the 11 through 15 bucket. The 6 through 10 bucket. I have Sam Darnold at 10. So I have him as a top 10 quarterback. He and Purdy, for me, were in the same range, in my opinion, of you kind of can flip the two. I'd accept 10 and 11 for either one of them type thing. Really. I gave it to Darnold because he actually won the Super Bowl, whereas Purdy didn't, pretty much. That was
valid.
That was the separator for me. Next, I have Caleb Williams because of the 3-year timeline. We saw so many good steps forward for him, and if Ben Johnson can get the best, out of him, I do think it makes sense. I think Herbert. I have Herbert here at 8, and I agree that it's tough to have him as an elite quarterback when he hasn't won a playoff game.
He hasn't won anything ever.
I do want to counter that because this was one of his best career years with one of the worst teams he has had around him in his career. That offensive line was one of the worst abominations to ever hit the football field I have ever seen. I'm going to give him one more season with an actual offensive line because that's what they're going to have this year. An actual offensive line and Josh McDaniels. If you can't get it together with those two things, you're going down to the Trevor Lawrence ranking.
Here's my problem with Herbert. There is talent. I'm not saying there isn't. There's clear talent. When does he stop getting every benefit of the doubt? It's the coach, it's the system, it's the line, it's this, that. It's never him. At some point, what we see is what we get. And there's talent, but it isn't good enough.
Again,
it's not good enough to win an MVP or even contend for an MVP.
I would agree.
And it's not good enough to win a fucking playoff game.
I would agree if it wasn't for the fact that, again, if you take all things into consideration, this was an incredible season by him when you look at what he had to deal with. If his season was even just a slightly worse year, I think I would have had him further down the list. But he is still one of the younger quarterbacks in the league and has one of the best arm talents in the league, and he's mobile enough. I'm going to give him one more season.
At that logic, you have him too low because at least one you have above him is outrageous. I think. If we're talking a 3-year plan,
I would still have him above.
That man's not going to be healthy for 3 years.
See, I don't disagree. I disagree.
Like Burrow, I think to take Burrow over the course of 3 years is your biggest risk.
It's the biggest risk, but the problem is if he is healthy through those 3 years, he's arguably a top 3 quarterback. Like, he's one of the best in terms of pure pocket passing in the league, period. Like, one of the most accurate. Again, I don't disagree with the injuries. At some point, it is a trend. He's another one.
We're there.
One more year. If you can't stay healthy this year, when again, they have improved the offensive line, and they have improved relatively around him in terms of the offensive line, not necessarily the defense, but at least the offensive line is a little better. Those two, I will admit, can absolutely get shot down this list based on next season. But for now, they will stay in the top 10. At 6, I have Dak Prescott. And the only reason he's not higher is because he is over the age of 30 and has had some significant injuries in his career. But he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I don't think he gets the respect he deserves.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then the 1 through 5, no real surprises. I have Jayden Daniels at 5. Injuries are starting,
and a youth.
Injuries are starting to get a little concerning. We're in the Burrow conversation.
That's why I agree with him behind Drake May.
Then yes,
I think you're looking at similar situations. You're looking at really young, really talented, but Jayden Daniels' health has already been an issue. Drake May, not so much.
And then I have Drake May at 4, Lamar Jackson at 3, Allen at 2, Mahomes at 1. The reason I put Lamar there is very similar to where I was at earlier. I think that this injury was more of a fluke, but we kind of saw what it looks like when Lamar cannot be the athletic freak that he is, and it was a worse season. Like, it just is a fact.
Yeah.
It does make me a little more nervous with his age that if he regresses in any way physically, that he might not be the same quarterback he was when he was winning MVPs. We saw the very similar thing happen with Russell Wilson. Now, I will admit there's a significantly different style to those two, but when Russell Wilson lost his ability to escape pressure using his legs, he became a significantly worse quarterback. I think Lamar is at a better starting point, but I do think we did see enough regression last year without the ability to use his legs to leave me a little bit more concerned than I have with Josh Allen, who, quite frankly, I don't think the man can get hurt. Like,
That's fair.
Some of the shots he takes, if he hasn't been hurt at this point in his career, I don't know if it's going to happen.
That's not invalid.
That is the only reason I have Allen ahead of him.
I think this is a valid take. Here's the couple of things I'm going to comment on.
Go for it.
1, this is something I'm hoping will be a positive with Deacon Doyle. Is Lamar is still physically capable of running, but if we can build up that passing better, then as the athleticism wears down, because it will naturally with age, it won't be as big of an issue. Yes, I do think he still relies on that running, that threat of it. I think that's real, but I hope we can improve the passing more so that when it's a real problem, it's not there.
Yes.
2, here's my problem with rankings overall.
I don't like it.
I do not give a fuck if you have Allen ahead of Lamar. I do not care. The statement I am bothered by is X is unequivocally the second best quarterback in the league. Whether you have Allen or Lamar's name in that sentence, you're wrong.
Yes, I wasn't going to say that.
No, I know. You can prefer Allen. I prefer Lamar, right? I'm a Ravens fan. I prefer Lamar.
And that's fine.
To say one is significantly better than the other is outrageous.
Is a lie.
There's not one statistical fact to prove that statement. Not one. I don't want to hear about the fucking playoffs. Which one of them has made a Super Bowl? Oh, that's right. No one. And Allen can't even use the Mahomes argument anymore, so shut up. Lamar's both their head coaches just got fired. Like, I don't want to hear about the playoffs. There is not one regular season statistic to prove either one is significantly better than the other. I keep hearing, like, some people on Allen's side are like, well, his highlight reels. Bitch, I don't know if you've seen Lamar's highlight reel, but I suggest you watch it.
Also, if you're judging a player off of highlight reels, that's just not...
Mahomes shouldn't be first. I don't know if you've ever watched his highlight reel. It's actually kind of boring.
Yeah. At that point, it's Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the league.
Like, yes, I have Lamar second in my rankings. Do I understand your take of, we're talking a 3-year timeline where there have been injury concerns, and if the athleticism falls off, what is left? Those are valid things. Not bothered by that. The one that bothers me is Allen is unequivocally the second best quarterback in the league. It's bullshit. I am also just as bothered, by the way, if you look at me and go, Lamar Jackson is unequivocally the second best quarterback in the league, I want to know why you think that. I need a stat for you to explain why you think that.
Because there just isn't one. The problem is it doesn't matter who you put second. The other one is third.
I think he should be. There are people that don't have him third, and that's outrageous.
But either way,
But I have no problem with this ranking. I think when, again, you're talking the parameters you've set, I think this is valid.
And I did also think I forgot to mention
And
one of the other parameters was contract is not factored in. So like,
okay, because
if
I was getting ready to
contract
say
was
that. Like,
if contract was
Allen
factored
does
in,
have a new contract.
if contracts were factored in, then Jaden Daniels and Drake May would be number one, would be 1 and
That's
2,
fair.
because they're playing on
You're
rookie
a
deals.
rookie contract.
Like
Yeah, that's valid.
Shuck, Ward, and Dart would be higher than Hurts and Love and Goff. Contracts were not taken into account. It is, for example, you're taking each of these players in a neutral system, 3 years, like they all have the same contract. Who do you want?
That's fair.
That was the point of the exercise. Just wanted to clarify
Valid.
that before we got too far. So yes, the reason this was started was what we said at the top. Sam Darnold was completely disrespected in two of the 3 of them. The 14th, putting him at 14th, I can at least understand. At the end of the day, if you put him anywhere between 9 and 15, I get it. I can understand that. I think he's at the top end of that range. But if you had him at 15 and you could give me the argument that you don't think his turnovers are going to go away and that you just think that's who he is, then sure, I can see him at 15. I'm saying this because we just watched him through the entire playoffs and Week 18 not throw a single interception and not turn the ball over once. First time in NFL history a team has done that, because the Seahawks did that. So I'm going to go off of that because we have seen it. We'll see what happens. But yes, I think that is where this started.
No, that's disrespectful. To have him behind Kyler Murray and Mendoza
is wild.
I could maybe understand the Mendoza argument of, I think if you're taking into the thought of the prospect he is and the best version that he could be over the next 3 years, I would take over Darnold. The Kyler Murray one is insane.
Like,
it's insane.
I don't get it. Okay? Like, how do you think that? What part of this last season and the last few seasons have you seen that he is capable of doing anything Sam Darnold just did?
Not even, since that first season, he won a single playoff game. Since then, it's been shit.
It's
been shit.
Again, he was benched for Jacoby Brissett. And
he is battling J.J. McCarthy. He is battling, right? No one has said Kyler Murray has the job. The worst quarterback we saw last year.
And he's being paid to not play for the Cardinals, who are likely going to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
100%.
Who are also in a contract battle with Jacoby Brissett.
That's outrageous.
Guys,
right, that's outrageous.
Jacoby Brissett is on a holdout with the Cardinals. For reference, one team in the NFC West just traded for Myles Garrett. Another team in the NFC West is in a contract dispute with Jacoby Brissett. And the other 2 teams in the NFC West are the Seahawks, who just won the Super Bowl, and the 49ers, who will never die. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Can I have all the injuries in the world, still the 3rd best team in the league last year? Like, go fuck yourself. So yeah, I don't
That's crazy.
I don't get that one. That one's the one that pissed me off. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't gonna do this. And then I saw that, and I was like, alright.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Because I'm with you. I don't really like rankings. I do them because I do think it is a fun exercise. And I do think going forward, this is probably how I would do it. I might do another one once we know where every starting quarterback is around the league. Just kind of have fun, rank the quarterbacks going into the season. But yeah, once I saw that 2 people had Kyler Murray over Sam Darnold, I about lost my fucking mind.
Yeah, that's outrageous. That's outrageous.
all that tells me is that no matter what Darnold does in his career, you will never see anything but Jet Sam Darnold.
Which is unrealistic, no longer the situation, and so unfair.
Like, it is unfair to any player. Like, are we going to look at Peyton Manning for his rookie season? No. You know why we don't look at Peyton Manning for his rookie season? Because he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, won 2 Super Bowls, was a multiple MVP.
Yeah. Like,
Sam Darnold sucked in his first couple of years in the league, but he also played for the Jets.
Yeah, he played for terrible teams. He just won a fucking Super Bowl.
I don't think you can discount the fact that he's now won in back-to-back seasons 14 games. He is the first quarterback to do that with 2 different teams, and is like the third quarterback all time to do it. I think with Favre and I think it was Brady. I know the last one to do it was Brady. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What are we talking about? At the end of the day, he has to be at least in your top 15. And has to at least be better than Kyler fucking Murray. So.
Yeah.
That's where I sit on that one.
No, that's fair. It's valid. Very disrespectful.
So, yeah. There's that. But beyond that, that was pretty much it.
Alrighty. Well, I do believe that does it for the NFL.